Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Things have got to change."
How many stations does this go out?
You've got to get mad.
67.
You've got to say,
I know it goes
anymore, then we'll figure out what to do about the depression and the inflation and the oil crisis. But first, get up out of your chairs, open the window, stick your head out and yell, and say, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore."
Who are you talking to, Herb?
CGG, Atlanta.
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Herb?
Are they yelling in Atlanta, Ted?
But you've got to get mad. You've got to say, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore."
They're yelling in Baton Rouge.
Get up, get up, get up out of your chair.
Son of a bitch! Oh.
Stick your head out of the window, open it, and stick your head out and keep yelling and yell, "I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore." Just get up from your chairs right now. Go to
Where
the
you
window.
going? I want to see if anybody's
Go
yelling.
to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell and keep yelling. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Coming to you live from the World News headquarters of the DeMont Television Network, it's Countdown. We bring it to you live. There are no recreations at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific each weeknight. Tomorrow, special guest in his first appearance since our first show, official Countdown provocateur, Michael Moore. This rhetorical question is perhaps self-answering. A protest called Occupy Wall Street, trying to underscore and the financial industry's influence on who's rich and who's not. Why wouldn't that get extensive news coverage? In our third story, after 5 straight days of sit-ins, marches, and shouting, and some arrests, actual those who have thought it farce or failure has been limited to one blurb in a free newspaper in Manhattan and a column in the Toronto Star. 1,000 people marched into New York's financial district to express their anger over how the financial system treats the majority of Americans, what they call with an ever-increasing police presence, which is blocking certain streets and attempting to keep protesters away from the stock exchange itself. While the protesters are peaceful, tensions are beginning to rise, according to the group's own website. Law, which bans the wearing of masks in a gathering of 2 or more people, except at masquerade parties. Simple solution to that crap. Call those protests out. Parties. Well, the majority of the media is ignoring the public uprising. It is not going completely unnoticed. Take, for instance, Yahoo, which blocked any email containing the group's website. Activity has been detected on your account. Yahoo later acknowledged the error, tweeting, "We apologize for blocking occupywallstreet.org. It was not intentional and caught by our residual delay." Joining me now is a veteran of many residual delays, Will Bunch, senior writer for the Philadelphia Daily News and author of The Back. Radicals, high-def hucksters, and paranoid politics in the age of Obama. Good evening, my friend.
Hey, Keith. It's great to see you again.
And mine. My pleasure. New graduates or disenthralled Wall Streeters, who we got out there?
Well, there was a great line in The Guardian, which, of course, is a British publication, so they're actually covering it. Educated, and I thought that was a pretty good line. Many of them are young, but not all of them. Some of them are in their 50s. Couple groups. One is a magazine that I was not familiar with before, but it's very popular in Canada, called Adbusters. It's a liberal magazine that I think came up with the idea for this event. And then the group of very controversial for its hacking activities, promoted it too. But mainly it's been promoted on Twitter and Facebook, but especially Twitter.
Short-term goal is what? Obviously, they're not going for the same thing they were going for in Tahrir Square.
I think the short-term goal, well, the regime, and I think that's what's happening here too. I think when you talk to people, mainly they're just frustrated, they're angry. Many of them are unemployed. Economy. They're the part of the 99%ers, but they're the part that are dealing with unemployment and things like that. And I think that's been a problem. I think for the protest. But right now, I think it's just a sign of the deep unrest and anxiety that a lot of people are feeling in this country.
Well, apparently they're not going to be able to refine their goals based on the movie or protest critics of the New York Times. I'm going to ask our director, Chris Bellante, to show those still pictures again and give you an alternate meme as to what they came from. Why isn't any major news outlet covering this? Do we have the crowd shots by any chance? Just to give that dimension, that one. That's the one. If that's putting stimulus funds into it, it's the lead story on every network newscast. How is that disconnect possible in this country today with so many outlets and so many different ways of transmitting news?
It is a real disconnect. And the New York Times, I mean, this is the hometown newspaper of Wall Street, and there have been no print articles in the New York with these people camping out down there for 4 or 5 days now. It's crazy. And I think three things are going on. I think one, I think the word disconnect that you used is a very good word, because I think a lot of people in newsrooms real suffering of 25 million Americans who are unemployed and underemployed, and the struggle to make ends meet there. So I think there's that. I think there's something else, and NYU writes about this all the time, which is what he calls savvy, which is that it's just kind of uncool for journalists to take these people who want to change seriously. You know, that I've seen a lot of coverage, like the New York Observer's coverage, was basically to make fun of these people. You know, oh, these are the guys with the masks we saw a couple of years ago, weren't they? And to kind of on here, and there's that. And as far as the Tea Party, you know, Keith, you and I both know that newsrooms overreact to conservative carping. They've been
crap. But all right, but moving on to the last question, but just an observation. They don't really fit into this explanation. Right. But is it possible that because those people don't look like or television networks viewers or readers, that they aren't old ladies with purple wigs or purple dyed hair, and they aren't seemingly, you know, typical middle Americans, that they're in New York, is that what this is? That videotape or story about that protest to your audience?
Well, I thought it was funny that the biggest story in the New York Times during the demise of Ray's Pizza, and so it is kind of like the gray lady selling nostalgia to its gray-haired readers, and I think there is an element of that, and maybe that the Tea Party protesters were people who, like a lot of us survivors in newsrooms, are in our 50s. You know, maybe the fact that they look like them, I think maybe that had something to do with it. Parties that conservatives are protesting.
Philadelphia Daily News and the vast Hackley Dial Alumni Association newspaper. Who helped unions and corporations and government to work together to save an entire business, the American auto industry.
You know, I've been hearing about this on the radio, and I didn't really know how to support, so I brought the papers I have to grade, and hopefully I can give support to the people that are here, because it's a courageous effort.
Do you teach in the New York school system?
I teach in New Jersey at private school. Yeah.
Are you going to tell students?
I'm going to tell them about it. It's up to them to decide whether or not they support it. But telling him about it. That needs to happen. That's really what this thing has been on the radio ever since. So
Great.
You know, keep up the good work because it's forcing us.
Now here's a question. Why isn't Wall Street in jail? It's a question I love. It's also the title of a great new expose in Rolling Stone. Reporter
We're CenturyLink, a new kind of broadband company committed to improving lives with honest personal service, 5-year price lock guarantees, and consistently fast speeds.